Chelsea training story. The Blue Engine at Cobham. It was a cold but bright morning at Cobham Training Center, the heart of Chelsea Football Club's daily grind. The players began arriving early, the dew still fresh on the grass, and the smell of freshly cut turf filling the air. Inside the modern complex, energy buzzed everywhere. Today's session was going to be intense. Head coach Enzo Maresca had made it clear. Every detail mattered. The next Premier League game was only 3 days away, and Chelsea needed a win to stay in the top four. Arrival and warm-up. The first to arrive was Conor Gallagher, the team's tireless captain. As always, he led by example, jogging around the field with a determined look. Soon after, Cole Palmer, Raheem Sterling, Reece James, and Marc Cucurella joined him. The sound of laughter, clapping, and the thud of boots echoed around the training ground. Fitness coach Carlos Lalin blew his whistle sharply. Let's go! Warm-up round, 2 laps, dynamic stretches, and quick sprints. The players moved in rhythm, stretching, lunging, and rotating their arms. The goalkeepers, Robert Sanchez and Georgia Petrovic, trained separately under Ben Roberts, diving onto soft mats, catching crosses, and working on reaction saves. In the far corner, assistant coaches set up mannequins and passing grids. Maresca was standing with a clipboard, jotting down combinations and patterns of play. Possession drills. After warm-up, it was time for the famous rondo drills, small-sided possession games that Chelsea players loved but also feared. Maresca demanded perfection. Keep the ball moving. One touch, quick decisions, he shouted as the ball zipped between players. Enzo Fernandez and Moises Caicedo controlled the tempo in midfield, showing why they were one of the best young duos in the league. Every touch was clean, every pass sharp. When a mistake came, a misplaced pass from a youngster, Maresca paused the drill. Look up before you play. Feel the space. Football is about seeing before acting, he said, demonstrating the move himself. The young players nodded. Even veterans like Thiago Silva, though older, still sharp, listened carefully. Experience mixed with youthful energy. That was Chelsea's new spirit. Tactical session. Next came the tactical setup. The pitch was divided into zones, cones marking defensive lines. Today, Maresca began, we practice building from the back. Calm, confident, brave. He split the players into 2 groups, the starters in blue bibs, the substitutes in yellow. Blue team, simulate match buildup. Yellow, press with intensity. It was a real battle. Reece James pushed forward, overlapping on the right. Palmer dropped deep to link play. Nicholas Jackson sprinted behind defenders, testing the offside trap again and again. Good, Nicks! Time the run better, shouted Maresca. The movement was beautiful. Triangles forming, midfield rotations, and crisp passing. The speed and precision made the session feel like an actual match. Every player fought for a starting spot, and the coaches observed closely. Finishing practice. After an hour of tactics, it was time to enjoy the fun part, shooting drills. Let's see who's got their finishing boots on, laughed Maresca. Cross after cross came in from the wings. Sterling curled one into the top corner. Palmer followed with a delicate chip over the keeper. Even defenders joined in. Levi Colwill smashed a long-range effort that crashed off the post. The competition heated up. They began keeping score, first to 10 goals. Palmer led early, but Mudryk and Jackson soon caught up. In the end, it was Raheem Sterling who won, scoring a thunderbolt from 25 yards. The players cheered and applauded as he celebrated with a cheeky grin. Goalkeeper focus. Meanwhile, in the corner, goalkeeping coach Ben Roberts had Sanchez and Petrovic working on one-on-one saves. They simulated match situations. Fast attackers running at full speed. Stay tall. Delay the striker, Roberts instructed. Sanchez made a superb save from Jackson, spreading his body wide like Peter Cech once did. Petrovic followed with a fingertip stop from Palmer. Both keepers were in top form, giving Maresca a good headache before the matchday selection. Cool down and recovery. As the session wound down, the players jogged slowly, breathing heavily but smiling. They gathered in a circle, clapping hands and joking. Physio Andy Williams guided them through stretching routines, ensuring no one left the pitch tight or sore. Inside the gym, ice baths waited, freezing but refreshing after a long, hard session. "Training done, lads. Recovery and focus now," said Maresca as he addressed the team. "You train like champions. That's what makes the difference." The players nodded, tired but proud. The bond between them was growing stronger. No egos, no excuses, just hard work and belief. Inside the dressing room. Back in the dressing room, music played softly. Palmer and Gallagher discussed tactics for Saturday's game, while Mudryk and Gusto joked in French. Reece James, wearing the captain's armband for the weekend, stood up and spoke. "This is what Chelsea means. Fight, unity, and pride. We've got to show it every match. Let's bring it home this weekend." Everyone clapped. The fire was there. Post-training talk before leaving, Maresca gathered the coaching staff. "Good intensity today," he said. "The rhythm was right. We just need to polish our transitions. The energy in this group is special." His assistants nodded. They knew Chelsea were transforming, not just as a team, but as a family. As the sun set over Cobham, the players left one by one, tired but satisfied. The training pitch, now silent, had witnessed another day of sweat, passion, and ambition, the unseen work behind every victory. Epilogue. That weekend, Chelsea stepped onto Stamford Bridge with confidence. The crowd roared, banners waved, and the echoes of the week's training lived within every pass, every tackle, every goal. Because at Cobham, the work never stops, and every session builds the next chapter of Chelsea's legacy. Another news. Chelsea training story. Determination at Cobham. It was a bright morning at Cobham, Chelsea's state-of-the-art training ground. The players arrived early, full of focus and determination. The atmosphere was electric, a mix of laughter, competition, and serious preparation. Manager Enzo Maresca gathered his squad in a tight circle at the center of the pitch. His message was clear. We train like we play, intensity, intelligence, and unity. The warm-up began with quick sprints, stretching, and passing drills. Cole Palmer and Raheem Sterling were sharp, testing the defenders with slick movements. Meanwhile, Moises Caicedo and Enzo Fernandez controlled the midfield tempo, exchanging quick one-touch passes that showed their growing chemistry. The defenders, led by Reece James, Thiago Silva, and Levi Colwill, worked on shape and positioning. The coaches focused on communication, shouting instructions as the players adjusted their lines. Reece, returning from injury, looked strong and confident, making overlapping runs down the right wing. In a shooting drill, Nicholas Jackson and Christopher Nkunku were on fire. Jackson smashed one into the top corner, while Nkunku's finesse shot curved past the keeper, a reminder of his clinical finishing. Later, the team worked on set pieces. Conor Gallagher whipped in dangerous corners, while the defenders practiced their clearances. Maresca applauded their commitment. "That's the energy I want to see every game." As the session ended, the players jogged together, smiling and joking, but everyone knew the message. Hard work at Cobham translates into victory at Stamford Bridge. Before leaving the pitch, the manager brought them together once more. "We train as a family. We fight as a family. Next match, we show them who Chelsea are." The team shouted in unison, "Up the Blues!" Their voices echoing across Cobham, ready for battle on match day. Another news. Chelsea training day, the Blue Intensity. It was a bright morning at Cobham Training Ground, the home of Chelsea Football Club. The air was filled with the crisp sound of footballs being struck, coaches shouting instructions, and laughter echoing from the players warming up. The players arrived early, Cole Palmer, Conor Gallagher, Raheem Sterling, and the rest of the squad, all ready to prove themselves.